fear through Killarney. Now I'm back to hitching with the wind. But if Mickey Flynn should ever find me, I'll throw me caution all behind me and square off on that son of a bitch again. He cracked open a river too, he beat me Sunday through and through, danced a jig over my unconscious frame. I won me healthy sheriff fights, well lucky son still have me life since Mickey Flynn beat me dumb and lame.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of Chiefs Talk. I am your host, Steve, accompanied here by Shane. Shane, how you doing today?
Man, I am so good. Still not working anywhere of significance. So I have a lot of time to do shit like this.
Yes, like reviewing Chief shit that I give you.
That is correct.
Yes? All right.
That's a hell of a thread, by the way.
What? Oh, yes, okay. So I said, Shane, well, I was drunken on the toilet, where all of our ideas come from.
100%.
And this Broncos fan just tweeted out how like 40 of 50 Patrick Mahomes touchdown passes last year were all like check downs or like, you know, just all based off like the run after catch.
Yeah.
He's not entirely wrong. The Chiefs
He's not.
The Chiefs have great skilled players, you know, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, even DeMarcus Robinson was very good last year, and then Damian Williams, they had Kareem Hunt for how many games?
And
then
13.
And then he pushed a girl.
Gently.
Very gently, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's a whole other rant that we should totally go on at some point.
The
We
Kareem
would probably
Hunt
just
thing?
do it.
Oh, man, nobody will want to follow me again. Or us.
Us, yeah. Well, no, we should do it on Whiskey Ramble.
Yes, okay.
That's probably the acceptable one.
Maybe the next episode of that. We'll see.
Go. We'll see.
We usually just wing that one, too.
100%.
So, there are screenshots, and I found the very first one very hilarious.
I gotta
Because,
pull it
yep, you pull it up, but it is literally the third screenshot. It's the wheel route to Anthony Sherman. The fullback, Anthony Sherman. A wheel route to a fullback. And I'm like, right then and there, I'm like, are you sure you want to keep going with this? It was a great play. I love Anthony Sherman. I will always say that he's the best fullback in football just because.
Yeah, you yelled at me last week for it.
Yes. But yeah, it just, that wheel route was such a thing of beauty, and it was just all Patrick Mahomes' touch and Anthony Sherman.
That's what I don't get about this guy's thread.
Yeah. Because a lot of it, too, is like his Mahomes' improbability, his arm strength, like even like
his reads. Sometimes it's not even his first fucking read.
Right, and it's his placement.
Yep.
And like, I understand the shovel passes. Like, they probably shouldn't count as touchdown passes, but my fantasy team appreciated it last year.
As did mine.
As did yours. In the one league that I didn't have them out of 6. But, you know, I understand all that. And then you look at it this year with the Chiefs. It's probably going to be some of the same thing, but, you know, he's still going to throw like 45, 50 touchdowns.
What I don't understand is the fact that so much of the NFL now is gadget work, and it's, I'm blanking on what the hell it's called. Like basically crossing routes where you try to pick, you know, whomever the defensive back is covering someone, or the linebacker, whatever it may be. And Andy Reid, for as much as I hate him, for as much as you've hated him,
Yep.
he is an offensive, like, minor genius. Like, he is creative in that sense. And he's always found unique ways, like the shovel pass, to consistently find ways to make that work no matter what era of the NFL you're in. And you have to appreciate that about him. And if that scheme wasn't there, like, sure, could Patrick Mahomes probably still throw 45 touchdown passes just airing it out the way that Brett Favre used to? Like, sure, probably. But he doesn't have to now.
Right.
And that's awesome.
Yes, and, you know, they lose Chris Conley. They replace him with Mecole Hardman, who is, like, even faster. I drafted him in fantasy. We'll get more in
Anytime
fantasy.
you can take a receiver from that school, you should.
What school was it?
Georgia.
Georgia? Mm-hmm. See, I don't know. I don't pay attention in college. I might this year for betting reasons.
Yeah, you should.
But, yes, I really like Hardman, all the talk about him, fast, as if we didn't need to get faster on offense.
Yeah, but if your entire offense is predicated on that to begin with, just keep adding that strength.
Exactly. And I think it's a very good strength. This is probably the deepest wide receiver core I think Andy Reid's ever had. Because I can't really go much on the Eagles when he had fucking Todd Pinkston and Hank Baskett.
Yeah, it's not. Because he had Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin. Avant, for as slow as he was, had fantastic hands and was the perfect third down receiver. And then if you want to throw in
What, Greg Lewis?
Not Greg fucking Lewis. No, tight end play as well. Like he's always been able to sit there and have offensive pass catching tight ends there as well, whether it be Brent Selleck. Zach Ertz, I think, was the last year he was there, if I'm not mistaken.
You're just going to leave out L.J. Smith.
L.J. Smith, man, 82 forever. But Chad Lewis,
Chad Lewis, yeah. But
no,
I will still stand firmly on what I said. That he's got Tyreek Hill, he's got Sammy Watkins, he's got Mecole Hardman right now, who I think is going to be like the slot guy. And then they have, what's his name? Demarcus Robinson. He was like a nobody and then came on because I think he worked with Mahomes like the twos and Mahomes' rookie year, and he just escalated up. I think he was one that caught.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and I think he was the one that caught the no-look pass.
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was him, and he's like, yeah, I'm so used to it now, so that's good. Demarcus Robinson is a phenomenal fourth receiver to have. So then they have Travis Kelce, and then let's look at running backs. You have Damian Williams, who produced an outrageous amount of touchdowns and yards come the playoffs when he really took over the starting role. What, you're blanking on me? You're just staring at me like...
Nope, I've made a different cup of coffee. First of all, if you have a Keurig at home, don't ever fucking use it. It's an awful, awful invention. Just brew an actual pot of coffee. I'm out of actual coffee. I made the last of it this morning, so I had to use my seldom used Keurig machine, and I have a variety pack. I'm not digging what I put in there, so...
Okay, makes
Continue.
sense.
Sorry, that was the blank stare of nothingness as you were sitting here talking about Damian Williams.
But so Damian Williams, who really came on. I think he's firmly the starter. Connor was disagreeing with me in our Twitter DMs yesterday talking about fantasy football. Darwin Thompson.
Darwin Thompson.
I
think it's the second week in a row you did that.
No, it's how I pronounce his name now. It's like a work thing, and it just
Darwin
escalates to my personal life.
All right, I respect
so
it.
Darwin Thompson is going to be the second running back. Carlos Hyde's going to get cut. I will affirm that. He's going to end up being a Texan by the end of the year. And
he should be a Texan.
He will be a Texan. I just don't know why. It's just going to be that fit once he gets cut.
I know why.
Why? Because Duke Johnson Jr.?
What?
So he can back up Duke Johnson Jr.?
He's going to be a Texans purely because they need another fucking running back after Miller just annihilated his knee on the first touch of preseason. On his first touch of preseason.
This is true. But that's exactly why I drafted Duke Johnson Jr. as my go-to running back in fantasy right now. For my one league.
That is your go-to?
Yeah, I'm kind of fucked.
You think?
Yeah.
Did you take like 6 quarterbacks so you had trade leverage?
No. I took Patrick Mahomes like 3 rounds before anybody else.
What round did you take him in? Third?
Second. When the next quarterback went in the 5th round.
Well, that's because there's like 2 quarterbacks you could conceivably take in that.
The second quarterback was Carson Wentz.
Why? I like Carson, don't get me wrong, but
I don't
why?
know. The homerism in the draft. We'll talk more about fantasy drafts at Whiskey Ramble in the next show we're doing. But sticking on the fantasy topic, Chiefs fantasy players outlook. I would not go over the defense. Stay away from them.
Smart.
I did not learn. Trash. I just think they're going to be average, and that's going to be enough to get us like over. Oh gosh, as I'm hitting the microphone. Harrison Butker, very good kicker to take. All those extra points, he'll get some field goals. When you're scoring 38 points a game, you're going to want that kicker.
There you go.
Patrick Mahomes goes without saying. He is the number 1 quarterback in the league right now, in fantasy and in reality.
It's true. No arguments here.
And he'll be throwing the ball to, Travis Kelce will be the best tight end, followed by Ertz. Tyreek Hill will do Tyreek Hill things.
Are you concerned at all about him?
About what?
I mean, the fact that like the legal issues are now like theoretically behind him.
I'm just hoping it cuts his pay.
Yeah, that's
because he was going to get a monster deal, and I'm hoping that this kind of like alleviates it, helps our cap a little bit more.
That's true. Yeah. Did Jalen Ramsey come out and say shit about him again? Was that this week, or was it just a reshared clip?
All I saw was that Jalen Ramsey is going to be following Tyreek Hill in week 1. So he's not going to be sticking to his side. He's going to be following Tyreek wherever he goes.
Gotcha.
And he will be behind him. And even if he isn't, then it opens up Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman.
First of all, can we talk about Sammy Watkins for a second? Because I've always really liked him. And
me too.
It drives me crazy that he's like kind of worked out, but not totally. And like he shows those flashes. You can't bet on this guy for fucking anything.
He's just very injury prone.
He is super injury prone. He is glass. But I feel like his skill set kind of lended like perfectly to a Macklin replacement.
Right.
And I dig that. And if he could stay on the field, I think he could be like your Chiefs fantasy sleeper this year on that offense. I know you would probably say Mecole Hardman, but
I would say Darwin Thompson.
Darwin. You are in love with Darwin right now.
So he's wearing number 25, so I'm like trying to grow accustomed to that. Yeah. Not too okay with it, but he texted Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles said it's okay.
Did that happen?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes. So I'm really high on Darwin. I think he's going to push eventually. He's a 6th-round pick. So to be a 6th-round
running
pick,
backs, I really don't. I mean, you could be good undrafted and come in.
Yeah, and then you get your Donald Humphreys.
Donald Pumphrey's a bum. Was it 3rd or 4th-round pick?
I think he was bust. 4th, and there was like 2 better running backs after him.
Yeah. Philip Lindsay went undrafted that year. Yeah. Fuck it. Whatever. It's Donald Humphrey.
So, yes, the Chiefs talk show where I try to take subtle jabs at Shane for Eagles players. So, Darwin Thompson is going to be the good one. Damien Williams is going to produce. I think he's going to have legit number 1 running back numbers. My asshole friend took him right before I was going to take him. Much like Darwin Thompson, my roommate only listens to me when I talk about Chiefs fantasy football. He took Darwin Thompson.
When?
He took him like the same round I was going to take him. Both of these happened. I was like, oh, Damien's gone. I have a backup plan. There it goes. So I had to get another Chiefs player. I got Mecole Hardman, and I'm pretty happy about it. I think he solidifies my receivers. And Demarcus Robinson's going to be like a waiver wire pickup 3 different times this year, and he's going to do well every time. It's just someone to be like, oh, I got this guy now. But I
think it's a pretty safe bet. I think any offensive skill player for the Chiefs at any given time all year.
Right. Especially when your team inevitably gets hurt, you're going to be picking up a Chief right away.
You should be picking up a Chief right away.
I saw a draft. My coworker showed me his draft. This guy had the first pick, and he took all Eagles. Like, literally, all Eagles.
What a moron.
Yes.
Can I say, when I first started playing fantasy football, and I hate fantasy football, but when I first started playing, I was like 10 years old playing in a bar league with my father, who was a musician, playing at Trap Tavern. Go to that bar, by the way. Great place. And at the time, like a fun offense to follow was Aaron Brooks and the Saints with Sharpie Joe. And I fucked up. I took Deuce McAllister, Horn, Aaron Brooks, and someone else that I'm blanking.
You just went all Saints?
All fucking Saints. And I realized it in like the 9th round, and I'm like, oh, fuck me, 9-year-old Shane. Like, my bye week 7, I don't have a roster. Everyone is on a bye week. So don't do dumb shit, fantasy advice. Don't stack Eagles. Stack Chiefs, though. That's worth it.
Yes, and then
that's
just have
exception.
Stack Chiefs, because they're going to be a high-scoring team in the league this year. And Carlos Hyde won't be a part of it.
You and this hatred for Carlos. Why do you hate Carlos Hyde? I don't understand that.
I don't know. It just started in this preseason, and I really have no recollection.
Is it because you just really love Darwin Thompson?
I think it is.
I respect that, but like,
and there's
you're
other
wrong.
There's other. Fine, maybe I'm wrong. There's just other running backs that I wanted in free agency. Don't ask me who. I can't remember now.
I was literally just going to ask you who.
I would have taken Spencer Ware back.
Yeah. Just for a system guy who understands it. Exactly. I felt like that was a safe bet.
And he got hurt last year.
Yeah.
So it kind of hurt him, but I thought he's very good. I think he could be a starter in the league, Spencer Ware.
You think he'd be a starter? I don't think he'd be a starter.
On a very weak team.
I mean, he's your Wendell Smallwood. Like, he's just like a 4th back that's like...
No, I think he's very capable backup. And, there are some teams, I haven't done research, but there are some teams he could have been a starter on, and I thought Indianapolis, yes, but I think he got hurt again.
Marlon Mack's there.
I don't believe in Marlon Mack.
Why?
I just don't.
Why? You should now.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, Brissett's going to be throwing to him.
Yeah. So
throwing wheel routes to him, that's going to be atrocious.
The RPOs with them.
That's all they're going to have now.
Yep. So speaking of players that I did not want the Chiefs to sign, let's go to Chad Henne, who just broke his ankle. Rest in peace, Chad Henne's ankle. And the Chiefs decided to upgrade a backup quarterback, by signing Matt Moore, who they were going to sign in 2018, last year, going into the season, but they said it was a toss-up between Matt Moore and Chad Henne, and I don't see how that's a toss-up. Matt Moore is better.
Chad Henne is going to be a backup quarterback until he's 83 years old. He's just going to keep getting jobs.
No, he's eventually going to be a quarterback's coach, like fucking Alabama or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, Matt Moore is a guy I've always kind of liked as like a backup quarterback. I mean, we literally witnessed him die on the field against the Steelers in like a 37-14 game.
Yes.
So I've always had respect for him. He literally died and then still played.
He's a chief, man.
He's a chief now. Yeah,
he's a chief based on that. It's what is that? A microcosm of your entire fandom here, starting because what's his name literally also died on the field.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, Trent Green. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, where did we go with that last week? Okay, I got it now. I remember.
Callback. Nailed it.
So I really like Matt Moore. I think he'll pick up the offense fairly quickly because Patrick Mahomes is not going to get hurt. Please don't. If he does, I have more trust in Matt Moore than I do with Chad Henne. It's also funny. 2011, Matt Moore replaced Chad Henne in Miami. So yeah, Matt Moore just likes to replace Chad Henne. Yeah. I did a little bit of research.
I'm pretty sure. So he started like 5 games in the last 6 years. I wrote it down. I was like,
Matt Moore?
Pretty sure I wrote it down. 5 games in 6 years, and he's played in 14 games in the last 6 years. Like, he's another one. Not exactly sure how he's a job, and he's fine. Like
Matt Moore.
I never understood that with him. Like I've always thought when he has even a piece around him and like semi decent protection, like he's a serviceable enough quarterback. And you good?
Yeah.
You hearing the voices again?
No.
Are we sure?
No.
Right,
Sometimes your ears got to scratch, all right?
All right, well, I was just making sure, man, you know. But yeah, I've always found him to be a more serviceable quarterback than what his opportunity would kind of suggest. And like I said, 14 games in 6 years, or 14 appearances in 6 years and only 5 starts.
One of them a playoff game, right?
Yeah, he was fine. Like,
yes.
I did write it down. In those 5 games, 12 to 8 TD to interception there.
Yep.
That's good for a backup quarterback. That's fine.
He's
Honestly, for anyone. It's fine.
And what I really saw, he's like 15-15 in like his total starts. You know, for a backup quarterback, it's not terrible. You know, usually you have your Brody Croyles who are like 0-16.
You trash that man.
I had slight hopes for him, all right, and he was just terrible.
That's a damn shame. Sorry.
Imagine starting 16 games and never winning 1.
Can't.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been winless. So that was a good one. It was a good move in an injury, which is terrible to say, but I said it. Another injury, Breland Speaks, who looked like he was really like solidifying himself as a rotational interior lineman for this new 4-3. He injured his MCL and meniscus, so I can really sympathize him on the meniscus front. Sounds terrible, and I looked it up, and I didn't look it up. I looked up an article, and they had pictures, and I immediately had to shut off the article.
I was like, because I saw it on Twitter.
I cannot look at images of like your knee bone and your ligaments, and just freaks me out.
It's horrifying.
It is. It's really horrifying.
Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, especially since this has happened to us.
Our life is over.
Yes.
Basically.
But with Speaks going on the injured list, I feel like he's going to be IR'd. Tano, I just read how to pronounce his name. I call him K-Pass. It's Tano, like, Passanon. He's from Villanova. This should open up an opportunity for him to get some more of those snaps. I think it'll be good. He had 1 start in his whole career in 2017. He had 2 sacks against the Broncos. So
don't even know.
Yeah. Well, he was like a second, third round pick by the Chiefs and just hasn't really done much besides that one game where he played with a bunch of backups against the Broncos starters.
Fuck the Broncos, man.
Yep, I agree.
The Broncos.
I think he sacked. I think it was Trevor Siemian he sacked.
First of all, I love Trevor Siemian.
Really? That is bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's really no reason for it.
Okay, well, I can relate to those because I have players that I, too, like for no reason. Trying to think of something else, but then you just keep putting this monkey producer and just adding shit to it. Yeah,
sorry guys, we have a new producer at ANYP. Monkey. He's digging it right now.
He's holding a card. He's holding the wires together. He has
his own headphones in. Feel free to speak, Monkey.
One of these days.
Or don't. That's fine. Whatever. It's good. No judgments.
But yeah, speaking of like, you like Trevor Siemian for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
Anyone else like that?
Cole McCoy.
Okay, you have a reason.
I have a reason.
You have a reason.
But like, if you watch him play, there's literally no reason to love Colt McCoy the way that I do. But currently, see, I immediately go to Eagles, which is not the right thing to do. So I'm going to try to think now. Do you have anyone that you were currently thinking of right now?
No, I'm trying to think. So,
so you're
go with
passing
your
it off
Eagle.
to me.
Yeah, just go. It's probably gonna be Joe Sweat or whatever his name is.
It is. It was Josh Sweat.
Jay Sweat. That's all I know.
Jay Sweat. I love him, and I sympathize for the same reason as your interior lineman over there, because he had a horrifically bad knee injury in college and in high school. He is an athletic freak, and he cannot put a damn thing together. So he very well may be. He was a mid-round pick, and he was looking very. Had he stayed healthy throughout his college career, the way that he was playing, like, he would have been a first-round talent, I think, or high second. But he ended up going in the 4th round of the Eagles, and people were like, "This could be the steal of the draft if he stays healthy." And 1, he has not stayed healthy, and 2, he has not looked good. But I fucking love him. So yeah, Josh Sweat for me was the guy. I'm trying to think of any of other people. Carlos Hyde specifically, because you dislike him. Like, I just find him to be such a serviceable, like, unsexy back, but he works.
He just never did anything for me.
He's never done anything for anyone, but like, I look at him, I'm like, man, like, you have some speed, you have some size, like, you have some, elusiveness. You can catch the football a little bit, you can block some, like, you're just not sexy about any of it. And like, I can relate because I'm not sexy about anything that I do. So so Carlos Hyde for me, if we're going to go with the Chief.
I'm going to go with a former Eagle and Chief. This is a guy I hated, and then he became a Chief, and I was like, wow, this guy really improved. I thought he was fucking terrible. Kurt Coleman.
Fuck Kurt Coleman. He didn't become good until he left Philadelphia.
I know, and
It's
then he was a
absurd.
Chief, and then he was actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
I appreciated him.
Both of the safeties that we had.
And then he continued to like be decent. I think he went to Carolina after,
yeah.
and then I think he's a Bill now.
He's still playing? I genuinely did not know that. I know he was in Carolina.
Panthers, and then he went to the Saints.
Part of the Sean McDermott defense.
He went to the Saints and lasted a year, and now he is a Buffalo Bill.
Interesting. So his career's over.
Yeah, basically. I'll go with another one. Theo Riddick, I always just liked as a running back.
Didn't you? Your Madden take, right?
Yeah, kind of. I just throw Wheeler out, so Theo Riddick, and it works.
Smart. That's fun.
But he always like made those plays. Like, he was a great pass catching running back for the Lions that I've seen. Like, in the very few Lions games I've watched.
I have a call back on one, but you keep talking.
But I just like, this guy needs a bigger role, and they just never like ran the ball with him. Like, why does nobody do this? And then he signed with the Broncos, so I had to hate him. And then he died. So rest in peace. I think it was his knee or his arm. He shattered something. Trying to think of somebody else.
My callback is an old one. So there was a store in the Montgomery Mall that I don't believe is there any longer, but it was like a sports collectible store. They also sold like authentic jerseys.
Yeah.
And so I went in, and I was looking at something Phillies related, and I was looking to get like a new autographed like framed picture. And I couldn't really find anything that I loved, so I always just started thumbing through NFL jerseys. I was like, all right, this is fine. And I came across the only San Francisco 49ers jersey that was there, and it was Rashawn Woods. Do you even know who he is?
Who? Is that like a receiver?
He was a receiver.
Okay.
Do you have any idea who he is?
No.
No one does. He went to Oklahoma State. I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember if it was Oklahoma State or Oklahoma that he went to. But and he was like I think he was. I have his page up. Whatever. I'm pretty sure he's a first-round pick. And I traded for him every year in Madden for the 2 or 3 years he was in the NFL. He 100% is someone who I always wanted to be good, specifically because I spent $185 on his jersey.
What the shit? Oh,
That's how much it was. First of all, I love the
just wanted
49ers
something?
jersey. No, I wanted the 49ers jersey. Like,
Okay.
that was fine. It's not what I went for, but at the time I didn't have like,
old
mortgage
were you?
rent or anything like that. It was 2000. I was like a freshman in high school, so when he got drafted.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember. I'm pretty sure, like, because I went to a Catholic school, and
Do you still have it?
Only. That's cute. My home burnt down.
Oh, right.
No, I do not have my Rashawn Woods jersey. The only thing I tried to run back in there for was a Colt McCoy Texas jersey and a Vince Young Tennessee Titans jersey. But neither of those made it either. Shame. RIP. Everything in my house. But yeah, Rashawn Woods for me. Random. He was horrible. Horrible.
Okay. So, last thing we're going to do, I did not give Shane any preparation for this. We're going to go through the Chiefs' schedule, win, loss, and we'll tally it up. Week 1, Chiefs, Jaguars. Who you got?
Chiefs.
Chiefs, me as well.
Yep.
I think it's easy.
Yeah, that one was easy. No one should believe in the Jaguars. Sorry, Big Dick Nick.
They'll go like 7 and 9.
I have a point on that, by the way.
Okay.
Just a small side tangent.
Sure.
Is it strange that other men wear a shirtsy in relation to another man's cock size? Like, it's weird
Yes,
that
it
they
is.
wear the 9-inch shirts.
Yes.
And then on the back it says Big Dick Nick. Like,
Yeah.
unless, of course, your name is also Nick.
Yes.
You're an Eagles fan, and you're also 9 inches.
Yeah, why not just
Which,
get it?
by the way, congrats. Like,
Just get a Nick Foles jersey.
that's it. Like,
Yeah.
no need. It's weird. Like, women, I could be like, I understand this right now.
Yeah.
But not so much.
It is slightly discomforting.
It's strange. It'd be like you and your Nick Williams. Like if you bought a Nick Williams jersey, but instead you were like, nope, I want Big Dick Nick Williams on the back of my jersey. Like some things just don't make sense.
Yes, that is true. All right, week 2, 4:00 game, Chiefs at Raiders.
They're going to win week 2, but I strangely think that the Raiders are going to take one of them.
It's not going to be the home one. It's going to be the away. Chiefs home.
I don't know. You didn't tell me who's home and away.
I did. I just said Chiefs at Raiders.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Yes, they're going to win the home game.
Until we get the comments like Shane or Steve, you were fucking wrong. You didn't tell them that.
Maybe. I don't know.
90% sure I did.
You
All
probably
right.
did. I was looking at our producer. He was eyeing me up right now. He's like,
No, he is falling asleep.
he's not falling asleep. His towel's heavier than his head.
That is also true. All right, week 3 against the Ravens, Chiefs home.
I think this is one of their losses this year.
Wow. I hope you're tallying because I'm only tallying mine.
You're only tallying yours? Shit. All right, hold up. So I will tally away.
So you will be at 2-1, and I will be at 3-0 because I think they win.
They have a good defense over there. I hate Lamar Jackson with fucking everything in me. I don't think he's a real quarterback, and I don't think he's ever going to be a real quarterback. But your defense,
LJ is seething in the other room right now.
I know he is. He referenced it on the last Kelly Green Hour. But your defense is a defense that he could honestly annihilate. So
It was one of the closest games they had last year against the Ravens.
yeah.
But then Patrick Mahomes.
I can't remember. I literally went through this earlier in the week. All I remember was all I did was put my totals here. I had the Chiefs at 13-3 was all I remember.
Yeah,
Now I
now
can't
it's gonna
remember who the
change.
fuck they lost.
Exactly, that's why we're doing this together.
So that's fine. It's yeah.
All right, but yeah, the Chiefs-Ravens last year was a very close game. Patrick Mahomes II had a ridiculous fourth quarter comeback.
Right.
It was like a fourth.
Did that go to overtime or did it not? Because
I don't think it did.
I think that I think the Eagles played at 4:00 that week, and I went to go pick up the wings. And when I got home, I heard LJ screaming from inside the home as I was parking the truck, and I'm like, "Fuck me! What happened?" Like I didn't know what was going on, but I'm pretty sure it was in relation to
Yes.
that comeback.
I think it was 3rd and like 18 or maybe 4th down. Patrick Mahomes rolled out, ridiculous pass. Tyreek Hill, ridiculous catch.
Yeah, that was one of the
Kept it
10
going.
good passes he made all year. By the
Oh,
way,
yeah,
just 10.
Yeah. All right,
Fucking Broncos fan.
1, 2, 3. Week 4 at Detroit.
That's a win.
Yeah. I don't know. You can never know. There's always potential for a Joe Webb game.
Fuck Joe Webb.
Week 5, home against the Colts.
That's a win now.
Yes. Thank you, Andrew Luck, for retiring. I wish you well in your future endeavors.
Yep, you and your XFL endeavors.
Oh, yeah, his dad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, LJ's the one who told me that.
Home against the Texans.
So I love the Texans, but this was one that I had like circled on my original notes specifically because of the Clowney situation. I don't know what to make of that, and I don't know what kind of impact that makes. I don't know what their depth is on the defensive line there, and J.J. Watt's always good for an injury. So
Yeah.
I do think they're going to win, but I think that's going to be one of the better games that you guys have all year.
I agree. I have them winning as well. Everybody listening right now is like, Steve's going to have them going 16-0. Chiefs at Broncos, I have a win.
Yeah, I have a win too. I don't believe in the Broncos at all. I don't believe that they will ever have a quarterback in the rest of time. So
At home against the Packers. Oh, these It was late night against the Broncos. Does that change anything for you?
Nope.
All right.
I don't have superstitions on late night games in the ways that you do.
Late night against the Packers.
It's a win.
I have a loss. Purely because it's late night.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not me. That team is Aaron Rodgers, and that's it. Like, sorry.
All right. At home against the Vikings, 1 o'clock game.
That's a win, too. I don't believe in the Vikings at all. Kirk Cousins is a fucking joke.
Shit. Where the fuck? All right. At home against the Vikings. All right. Away against the Titans.
I have a win on that. Why did I circle that game?
Probably because of Marcus Mariota throwing a
No.
touchdown pass to himself. I think that's why we win. Revenge game.
That's not why I had it circled. I can't remember. And Marcus Mariota's not going to fucking be playing. It's going to be Ryan Tannehill. Let's be serious.
Yeah, by that time.
But yeah, I have a win.
Away against the Chargers.
That's the loss that I had because I do believe the Chargers are a damn good fucking team.
I have that too, only because it's away and it's a late night game. It's going to be some bullshit chicanery that will happen.
Is that the game you drunk called me on? Did they lose in the fourth quarter or overtime on the last play that needed to be played like 6 times?
Yes.
Fuck
it
that
was.
game.
It was either them or the Raiders.
I don't remember.
It was a division game.
Yeah, I can't
So
remember.
it wasn't the Broncos.
So yeah.
At home against the Raiders.
Uh,
I think you said they're not going to win both, so I guess you're chalking this one up to a loss.
what did I say here? Yeah. Because I had them losing one game. It doesn't matter which game they lose. It doesn't matter. But yes, I had them losing.
I have a win, so I have them at
One of
10-2 right now.
Yeah, and I have them.
425 away against the Patriots. I have a loss.
I have a win on that.
Oh, okay then. At home against the Broncos, I have a win.
I also have a win because the Broncos are ass.
Okay. Away against the Bears.
I had a win, but that's a 425 game, right?
It is actually a late night game.
It's a late night game again. All right.
I think that's a Saturday. It's 12:22. No, it's a Sunday.
Here is my only thing. I am high on the Bears. I think that they are going to be a really, really good team. However, there seems to be like some sort of offensive disconnect right now over there for Chicago and everything that you read and everything like that. So like
That's great. I have Trubisky as my backup quarterback.
Well,
Do I really need one?
I don't really know. Like Trubisky's weird. Like he could end up being like a really excellent quarterback, and like it looks like a really smart pull in that draft early on, or he's going to be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like there's no in between with him, and with the lack of offensive continuity right now, or at least the way that it's looked in the preseason and in the articles that you read. But regardless, it's a win on my end.
All right. And last game of the season, home against the Chargers, 1 o'clock game.
They will win that one.
That's what I have. So I have 13-3.
That's what I have.
My losses are to the Patriots, Chargers, and the Packers.
You're a fucking idiot.
And the Packers. So that will win the division and get them a first-round bye.
What do you have the Chargers going? Just, I mean, without looking at their schedule, like, what do you assume they're going to be?
11-5.
I had him at 12-4.
Yeah.
And then the rest of your division, well, your other two teams are ass.
Well, the Raiders
so-
are having less than 5 wins. I have money on it with my friend.
Yeah, I have them at 13-3, and I have the Broncos at 8-8.
You have the Raiders at 13-3. Mm-hmm. You have the Raiders at 13-3.
3-13. Sorry, reading it backwards. Sorry.
Yeah, I have the Broncos at like 6-10. Just because their quarterback, Joe Flacco's dumb.
Joe Flacco's terrible.
Yeah, their defense is going to win them those 6 games.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. It's a big ask because you're also asking them to score. Like, because I don't trust that offense for
No,
shit.
I think that the offense, they can score at least 1.5 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Maybe go for the Broncos kicker this year in fantasy.
I always want to say Jason Elam because he was forever. And he was my pick every year because he was always good for 50 and out for the extra point or the like 4th or 5th point and whatever the hell it is. That thin air up there.
I think the best kicker choice in fantasy I ever made was Cairo Santos when all they would do was kick field goals.
Cairo Santos was a good pull.
Yeah.
Until what was he blow his hamstring out?
Yes, and then it brought in
your
Harrison
Bucker right now. Yeah.
So yes, thank you, Cairo, for your service. We wish you well in your future endeavors.
And thank you for
getting
gifting
hurt at
us
the right
our
Yes.
next kicker.
All right. So, do you have any final thoughts on Chiefs talk?
No, it was good. Sitting here going through some fantasy points, which everyone cares about except for me, and then a breakdown. I'm going to enjoy thoroughly watching evening games with you.
Yes.
This should be a hell of an experience. We'll let you know how it goes. But if they lose that first night game that they play, you can be damn sure that we're not watching any more together. Can't fuck up the juju.
And it's against the Colts too, the Jacoby Brissett Colts.
Brissett.
All right. We have a little advertisement Shane's going to do because I'm terrible.
Oh, you're an idiot. So if you are listening and have listened to any of our ANYP segments, be sure to go visit our friend Asian Rob at Just Food, 215-794 Food, 215-794-3663. Treat yourself. Take it home. You can visit their in-store location. They do have two. There's one at Del Val College in, I think it's New Britain is the town that's in. And then their other store location that Rob typically works out of is in Buckingham Green Shopping Center. Go ahead. They have a full mart in the one, which is great. They sell a bunch of different kind of jams and just different kind of like seasoned like nuts. It's weird. Like
you just wanted to say jam, didn't you?
Jam. No, I'm contractually obligated to say these things. Monkey's holding up the card right now for me. He's like, make sure to not forget this shit.
I think it moved on its own, too.
It might be moving on its own. Yeah, he's got an attitude right now. He knows he's got to produce one more segment, and he's hungry. But, yeah, definitely go visit our guys over there at Just Food. They are fantastic. A lot of autumnal, is that the word? Autumnal types of, like, snacks and things like that they sell that are, like, specialized. So if you want little hand snacks or whatnot for your football parties, by all means, go over there and pick some of those, whatever kind of season that they put on those cashew nuts. I don't know. It's delicious, though. So, Just Food, 215-794 Food, 215-794-3663. Treat yourself. Take it home.
My ride here, I was trying to, like, amp myself up to do it, and I got it right. I got the numbers right.
There you go, man. It's only two numbers. It's not so fucking hard.
I'm getting better. All right, so this is it for our Chiefs Talk Show here on the Always Next Year podcast. I am your host, Steve, bidding you adieu until the next segment or show that we are doing, which will be Whiskey Ramble, as I'm slurring already. I've only had one beer.
There it is. Starting to count early.
And Shane, see you next time.
See you in 5.
A fighting man I used to be, revered and feared through Killarney. Now I'm back to hitching with the wind. But if Mickey Flynn should ever find me, I'll throw me caution all behind me and square off on that son of a bitch again. He cracked open a river too, he beat me Sunday through and through, and such over my unconscious frame. I won me healthy sheriff fights, well lucky son still had me life since Mickey Flynn beat me dumb and lame.